member site. For anybody who's new here, you might not know that there is a whole other thing for what we're doing in this group. The Facebook group is about sharing tracks, getting feedback, having conversations, doing live videos, and learning stuff about production. But I back that up with a whole other site that's got stuff you can download, like free presets, Ableton lessons, and everything. And I just added a new one thanks to Pill Smith. It's called Open Music Theory, like open source music theory. And it's a whole website full of music theory stuff that you can just go and like learn about. So when I'm teaching harmony, piano, talking about scales, notes, triads, intervals, chords, functions, progressions, all that stuff, I was like, last night I was like, man, I got to write a whole dictionary about these things. And I don't. I just found this open source music theory textbook. Bam, ready to go. So thank you a million times, Pill Smith. What I want to do right now is blip into the Mixitecture member site and show you where you can sign up for the free resources to get the free presets and stuff. Like when I do a video and make an effects rack and I'm talking about it, I usually upload it to free resources so you can grab it and play with it. So I'm going to show you how to find that. I want everybody who's in this group to get into this free resources so you know what I'm talking about and you can find the stuff that we're doing. So screen share, and there's us in Facebook. Okay, here's the site, coursesmixitecture.com. And when you first get there, you see this open front page has a video and intro and that kind of thing. And I'm talking about free Ableton resources right here. You can click learn more and let's see what's going on. I'm logged out right now, so you're gonna see this exactly the same way. By the way, thanks to Sub FM for our soundtrack right now. So free Ableton resources. This is how the member site works. Every course or lesson or something has a little intro that tells you what it's about. And the other available ones are at the bottom. When you want to sign up, you click the green button, blink. Little thing opens, name, email, agree to the terms and conditions. That just says you're not going to copy stuff and try to sell it. And then sign up. So I'm going to show you what I just put up. Here's resources for raw beginners. You don't even need to sign up for this. This is just like click in and grab it because it's that useful and I want everybody to be able to do it. So first there's stuff about the Ableton sites where you can learn about synths. These are really cool. Ableton has built a whole bunch of online resources where you can actually like make sounds, play with sounds. This is for people who don't have any idea about anything. You don't have to know anything. You can just start and play with it and it's fun. How cool is that? Make Your First Beat is another one. Get a copy of Ableton. They have a 90-day trial on Live 10, so if you need to upgrade, now is the time to do it. I totally recommend everybody do the built-in tutorials. Even if you've been using Live for a while, these are inside the program already. They're on your computer. All you have to do is go to View, Help, open them up, and you might learn some new things, especially with like, you know, wavetable and new devices and stuff. You might want to learn a little bit about it. Here's a lesson on track feedback, which explains timestamps and how to give people really super useful feedback without sounding like a total dickhead, which is fun. And I don't expect anybody to be negative in here. It just helps to put a timestamp and be like, hey, look, exactly, you know, 5 minutes 17, I noticed something that you need. It basically tells the other person exactly when you heard something that you're commenting on so they understand you. But what I got excited about today was Open Music Theory. Now, this is a site where there is, well, it's an online textbook for college-level music theory classes. How cool is that? Taking one quick second to see if my live stream came up, just in case there's any questions or comments. I always like to see if anybody's asking me stuff. Refresh, refresh, page load, video, video. Click to expand. It's kind of early in the morning for US people, but I know everybody in the EU is already up. So if you got any comments or anything, you can type them in. This is gonna be a quick video. I'm not teaching any Ableton right now. I'm just showing you where to get some resources and stuff. Oh, Kevin Hardesty. See, I had a feeling somebody was saying hi. And Patrick, yeah, cool. So this Open Music Theory site, why is it important? So I seriously want everybody to be able to do this. So what happened to me yesterday was I was listening to Sub FM right here, teaching about the basics of scales and notes. And I started jamming along and just playing the keyboard along with a track to show how much fun it is when you can do that. So the goal for me of teaching music theory is to give everybody who's an Ableton producer the skills to listen to a session, find the bass line, understand what chords you need, and play a melody, play a lead, play a scale, something on top of it. So you can develop your ideas further and get better sounding tracks. I see these questions all the time in, let me go back to Camera Land. I want to be on camera for this part. Camera Land. I see the same questions all the time in the Facebook groups where people are saying, oh, my lead is boring. How do I make it sound better? Or like, what's a chord progression supposed to do? And they ask these questions, and you can just see that they don't really understand that, a chord progression doesn't have to do anything. I mean, it has to make you feel good. End of story. But when you understand more about music theory and how chords fit together and what are the traditional progressions and how chord functions work, it lets you build songs that give people a sense of like climax that feels good and then return to the starting point, so it's like harmonically home. Because if you don't give people resolution, they're left feeling like, they're not gonna like your track because it doesn't give them the reward. It's like in the old movies when it says the end on the screen. Like, your music has to do that and return to center so that people feel good. And it also has to depart from center so it's not boring. So that's the, departure and return kind of thing, the storytelling. And music theory allows you to do that. So what I want you to be able to do is just listen to a track, play by ear. I'm not talking about memorizing key signatures. I'm not talking about 5-line staff notation and learning to write sharps and flats. Like, some people do that, but this is not like an academic thing. This is going to be super hands-on. And the most fun part is that we're going to work with not only keyboards, but push, making sense of music theory for Ableton users on push. So if you're learning theory for the first time on a grid, that's totally different from learning it from the first time with, whole steps and half steps on a piano keyboard. So that's why theory is an important thing to learn. And when you are at the Mixitecture member site, here is the Open Music Theory lesson with a little link. You click on there and check it out. There's this whole thing with a textbook of terms you need, fundamentals, and then on into composition and harmony and song form and stuff. Now that's going to be some Beethoven, Bach, sacred music origins of Western classical theory, but it will help you understand what we're talking about when we say things like a triad or an interval or a scale or a key or something like that. So I want you to go there, sign up for the free resources. And now let me sign in with my user account. Oh, Daniel said I was going to even suggest about making something similar to this. Man, thank you to Pill Smith for pointing this out, because I was not looking forward to writing all these words and definitions out. I mean, I could, but it just, if you're going to do something, you want to do it right. And I didn't want to do a crappy version. Okay, so I'm signing in to the member site with my user email. I want to just show you what it's like inside the free resources when you're there. So there's a little breadcrumb thing at the top. You can click on free resources. And now look, all these other modules are unlocked. We got free presets. Intro to session lessons. That's what the lessons I build that are guided Ableton projects, where you learn by doing actual Ableton projects, not by just watching videos. Then how this site works and some stuff about why I do this. So let's show you free presets. That's the fun stuff. And while we're here, I'll point out the new things I added this week. Top lesson is how to work with presets. It's really easy. You download it. It's as small as a text file. I mean, it's so small, and you drag it right into your project, instant access. I just added the drum widener effects rack. Bam! This is that one with the chorus and the gate thing. And there's the replay video. I show you what it is and how it works. Here's the channel strip and audio of what it sounds like. And here's the macro knobs, where you get chorus parameters, compression, reverb, gate. The big fun on this one is to tweak the chorus feedback. So grab this rack, put it on some drums, and then when you're leading up to a big build-up, take that feedback and start jacking it up, and you get more and more chorus, and it gets this really washed out effect that's really interesting, because the build-up sound will come from your drums. It's not like a white noise riser that's just pasted on top like extra. It's like actually part of the drums, then they just morph and spill all over the place. Samir's here, what's going on? So that's one example of what's in free presets. I also added the universal channel strip, which is my basic mix tools effects rack that I use right now. And you've got, utility, gain, mono, high pass filter, compression, and EQ, where you can move the frequencies around and kind of bypass it with the scale. And then a limiter. And that's something I use I could drop this on any channel in my mix, from kick drums to female vocals to a reverb return, and have the tools right at hand to work with that sound. And the fun thing is that they're mapped with bypass switches. So if you don't want the gate, you just turn the knob all the way down and the gate turns off. So this is inside free resources. There's some other fun stuff like the dub Verb Flanger. This is from 2019. This is a cool ass effect rack. Little replay to show you what's in it. And it's more like a creative tool. I got a little more instructions on what to do with it, description of the controls and everything. So on this member site, I'm giving you fun stuff to play with, and also a little push of how to use it so you can instantly have more fun in your sessions and not be like wandering around wondering, there's always a million options and you can get lost playing with options. So I try to just give you enough guidance. So I'm telling you, try this, do this, play with it. It's going to be fun. and then take it in your own direction. And while I'm here, I want to put in a little plug for my Patreon page. This is how you can sign up to support Mixitecture with a small monthly donation. I'm doing this full time now. I used to do audio engineering and work at concerts and set up shows and do, outdoor sound and PA systems. And I love all those big bass sound systems. But that all stopped when the pandemic hit. So I'm doing Mixitecture full time. I need your support so I can keep making these presets and session lessons and videos. So Patreon is how you can sign up, make a little donation every month, and help me keep this whole thing going so I don't have to stop, because I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna keep doing this. That's what it's all about for me right now. And again, thanks to Sub FM for this cool soundtrack. Thanks to Pill Smith for pointing out Open Music Theory, the open source music theory site. And I'll be back a little bit later today with another lesson on something about adapting music theory from 74 creative strategies and bring it into a video that you can use to listen to audio. I think we'll start with finding the bass line. That's a pretty solid thing to do. Finding what note is the bass line starting on, what's it returning to, what's the harmonic center of the bass line, and from there we can go into building chords and building scales and leads. Any questions? No questions? Cool. All right, keep it short and sweet. That's it for me, and I'll see you all in a little bit later. If you got any questions or comments, type them on in. I'm on the scene. Thank you.